This is the journey to One Africa.
I was trained to use firearms at the age of 9 years when I was part of a young pioneers movement called Masupatsela of Walter Sisulu. At that age, they taught us how to handle a firearm. And the beginning of such a course was actually with wooden guns.
So are you confirming that some of your celebrations you actually do use wooden carved firearms?
That was at an early age. We graduated to use the real stuff. And the real stuff in this sense, real firearms in the struggle against apartheid. Since then, I've never seen any of my leaders use a wooden gun. That was when we were young, when we were being introduced into the idea of firearms.
But since the inception of the EFF up to this date, when you had your 5th anniversary, you never demonstrated with a real firearm. Is that correct? No, a firearm that resembles the one that you brought to court yesterday.
No, it was for the first time.
Why was this decision taken?
For aesthetics, it's like asking me, in all the 10 years of the EFF, have you ever gone up a stage? The stage, has it ever gone up? It was for the first time. It's always new concept to fit into, what you are doing at a particular time. Ideas are thrown around, and because it was not done before, it doesn't mean it can be done. The stage went up for the first time at FNB Stadium. And if someone was to ask me, it's for the first time we had a situation where after speaking the stage goes up. And but the same applies on this. There will be in other occasions where there will be something different so that you don't become a boring organization and people know what you are going to do. They must always be there and get surprised by some acts that you put forward in those gatherings. So it's, and then even some awards have never been the same.
Who came up with this idea, Mr. Malema?
We came up with it in the EFF. We work as a collective. So I wouldn't say so and so or so and so came up with the idea, but whatever happens at the stage of the EFF would have been a collective idea.
Has this been discussed with the first charge of JOC that was Colonel Nkwali?
I wouldn't know. I don't sit in JOC. That question should have been put to the JOC person who came here. I can't be made to make or to present a version on a non-existing version. There is no version that says I was not, or the EFF did not say this is what is going to happen. I was not sitting in JOC.
Colonel Kwali did testify, Mr. Malema, that's why I'm asking you. He testified, he said this was never discussed with him. He would not have approved it if it was discussed with him.
There's no way you want to approve a toy. We didn't discuss that Dr. Malinga is going to perform there and jump on the stage with joke. But Dr. Malinga performed. Had he fallen and broken his leg, and they come here and said, had we known that he was going to perform, we're not going to allow him to jump on the stage. You don't discuss every little detail, especially if it is not of security risk with JOG. We're not being micromanaged by JOG. The responsibility of JOG is to secure the event, not to manage the program of the EFF. What goes on the stage of the EFF is a decision of the EFF, as long as it has got no security implications. So a toy will not have security implications, requires no approval of the police or any other person.
I'm just trying to find that part in my notes where you testified yesterday that the person in charge at job, every little thing that happens in the stadium needed to be passed by him or needed to be discussed with him.
Yesterday, it was just yesterday, not long time ago. Your memory should be very fresh. I never said that.
Just to repeat, I didn't hear what you said.
He said every little thing that happened on that stadium, the people, this person in charge of the stadium, which is Job, the SAPS member, every little thing that happens there, I just hear every little thing responsible, the person in charge, they are responsible for every little thing that happens on that stadium. That was your answer yesterday, that's how I recall it.
That's not what he said, your worship, at the beginning. The first thing he said, I said, every little thing passes through JOG. I never said that. I said, JOG is responsible for every little detail of what is happening in the stadium. That is in relation to security. My worship, I'm saying to you, there were dancers there. Some of them would have came with the sigubu. I will not have drums. I will not require JOG to know that. But JOG will know there's going to be artists, there's going to be entertainment. A program gets presented in a JOG meeting where it indicates the informal program, the formal program, and the entertainment after the program. As to what goes into the detail of that entertainment has got nothing to do with JOG. As to what goes into the detail of that formal program, who's going to speak, who's not going to speak, it has nothing to do with JOG. But they know at some point there will be a formal program, and after that there will be entertainment. And after entertainment, the most likelihood is that they will retreat into a VIP area. They don't know what beer is being supplied in the VIP area, but they know that there is refreshments in that VIP area.
This little demonstration was discussed, Mr. Malema, with Job. The likelihood is that we would not have been here, you would not have been coming to this court for 5 years.
No, you brought me wrongly here, and you know that. Either you want to build your career with my name, using my name, and destroy my reputation, and destroying the future of my children and my wife. You know very well that you brought me here wrongly. Look at all the 19 statements that you have led before this court. No one can associate me with any wrongdoing. I cannot regret having done nothing wrong. I possessed a toy. It requires no license. It requires nobody's permission for me to use it at any time. Well, if that was a requirement, I would have complied with the law. Like the person you brought here of the job, who said this was the best team ever, the most disciplined and highly cooperative.
Mr. Malema, may I request that we maintain the mutual respect we had for one another since the beginning of this trial up to now.
What do you mean by that?
Just a request that I'm having.
What do you mean by that? You brought me here for 6 years for no issue. And that is not disrespectful. It's robust, but it's not disrespectful. I'm being honest. You have put this court in this predicament because you could have taken a decision when you took over the case. When the first prosecutor left, you could have taken over the case and made a decision on your own independently and objectively. You refused to do that. It was you in the argument of 174 who said, had you known the facts you know now about Larry Mabunda, you would have charged him. That on its own should have told you there is something wrong here. And as an objective prosecutor, declined to proceed with something that has got loopholes. I'm not being disrespectful, Your Worship. I'm being honest. And I'm telling my truth as I see it.
In hindsight, this idea of having this particular demonstration at the particular stadium, Mr. Malema, what I'm trying to say to you is that if that was discussed with Jock, it would have been easily resolved that this was indeed a toy firearm, as you claim that you used on the night in question.
My brother, there was no need, because no license is required, no permission is required. You have not led any evidence that suggests there was a need for a permission to be acquired before you use a toy gun. Police officers in their different ranks, including some aspects who came here, they've made it very clear you require no license to use a toy. Your Worship, everything that required a permission of the JOG went past the JOG. And who is the witness for us here? Is the JOG person who came here and said they were the most compliant, disciplined people I've ever dealt with, and had very good words to say about our Secretary General.
Thank you. You also testified regarding the bodyguards that have always been present. Is that correct?
Yes.
You still haven't been able to establish the name of the bodyguard that you showed yesterday on the video footage.
You can ask me the name, I'll give it to you with ease.
Do you know it?
Yes, Kari. Warrant Officer Kari. K-H-A-R-I. There were actually two. The other one is Chauge.
K-H, I'm so busy with the K-H-I.
K-H-A-R-I.
Oh, okay. And the second one?
Chauge. Chauge, C-H-A.
I've got that.
Okay.
Thank you.
You also said that if there was anything untoward, they would have acted on that stadium if that was indeed a real firearm. Is that correct?
Absolutely, and my witness is, I don't know what you call him, Colonel Swart Boy, who said in his evidence in chief here that had something happened wrongly in front of those people, they had a duty to take an action against him. I'm paraphrasing, I'm not quoting him verbatim.
Mr. Malema, these statements was read relating to the bodyguards were read to Colonel Swartboy when he was testifying. I'm going to go through it again. Or the one of Andile Kume.
Yes.
He states that I hereby states in English under oath, he gives his rank as the sergeant in the South African Police Service. He's stationed in the Protection Security Services in East London. He hereby confirms, unless the context, I don't want to read through the legalities, I just want to go to the crux of his statement if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's A65. I'm going to start with the 5th paragraph from the top, where it says that my colleague and I, known as Sergeant Nzelani, also stationed at the Protection Security Services London, was at his London airport on 21st July 2018, awaiting the arrival of Mr. Malema and his dignitaries. 3 colleagues from the National Protection Security Officers, known as Collins, Chauke, and Terry, joined us at his London airport on the mentioned date. On 28 July 2018, I was the leading vehicle alone, with Collins driving Mr. Malema, Julius Malema, and Sergeant Zelani and Kari as the backup vehicle. We departed from the Julius Malema accommodation to the Sisa Dukasha Stadium, Dansanis, London, and stated in the above formation. On our arrival at the stadium, myself and Sergeant Zelani were not allowed into the designated stage area and remained outside. During the evening late, we were allowed inside the designated area where the detailed vehicles was parked. At no stage did I witness any shooting or enter the stage area. He said, I'm issued with a Glock 9mm. I don't think the remainder of that paragraph is relevant to whatever, but he says that at no stage did he enter that area or the stadium.
We'll have to read it again. I mean, you are the one who's reading it. He says, were later allowed into the designated, and then you say, after reading that, you say, he says, at no stage was he ever allowed. He says, were later allowed into the designated area, and I've not seen anything wrong.
Where the vehicles was parked. He didn't say on the stage, he says where the vehicles was parked.
Your Worship, were not allowed in the designated area, later were allowed into the designated area. So where were the cars parked all along? Where? Because the story is that once they drop you off, you go around the stage. Both the driver of the main car and the backup car will now take the cars right behind the stage. Because as part of protection protocols, is that in a case of danger, you must be rescued from the stage right into the car and escape. Or you're going to be rescued into the car when you still have to run to the parking and there is some bus which has blocked your car. Always the VIP cars are parked in a manner that, in a way, without saying, they're preparing escape. That's why when they arrive, they might be facing the direction opposite the gate, but they will have to turn them around to face the gate, because when the need for the escape comes, there will not be time to turn the cars around. They must always be in a state of readiness for escape.
Can I ask you, Mr. Malema, where was these cars parked?
Behind the stage.
Behind.
Yes, behind the stage. And Your Worship, I mentioned to you 2 names of all the 5 that were there. I mentioned to you 2 names, that of Kari and Chauke, that they were on the stage. There might be 5, out of 5 of them, 2 ordinarily will be drivers. It will be a driver of the main car and a driver of the backup, and the rest of the 3 deploy each other, position themselves in such a way that they don't lose contact with the body.
3 with the body, 2 drivers.
Yes. And Your Worship, if you were to ask me who were the drivers, like the names is reading from the Eastern Cape, I don't know them. Police just tell me when you arrive, you're going to find a VIP protection at the airport, and then these are other 3 VIP protectors with you. So the reason why Chauke and Kari are known to me is because before East London, they've been on my body for quite some time. I don't have to know them. They are subs. They are men of cloth. They are trustworthy. As long as they are known to the principals and the principals say to me, this is what goes on, my job is to comply and trust subs with those responsibilities.
If this person was in the area where he says he was, cars parked, as you stated, behind the stadium, could he have witnessed, I'm asking you, could he have witnessed what transpired if the shots were fired on the stage, if he was where he said he was?
A policeman has got ears of a dog. If a firearm was to be shot here, policemen by their instinct will hear there's something wrong, and they will dare to follow up as to, are we still on course or is there a problem? So as a VIP protector, had he had things that are funny and intimidating, surely he was going to pay attention, to look at the direction of his colleagues, to see if there is danger coming, so that he can prepare himself. He was not sleepy. He doesn't say in that statement he was sleeping.
Could he have seen, if he was in that area where the cars were parked behind the stadium, could he have seen if those shots were fired when it was fired?
Your Worship, I wouldn't know. But the fact of the matter is the police officer was there with me, right next to the stage where I was, looking after the cars, whereas his colleagues were with me on the stage.
He says he didn't see anything.
I can't be bothered by police. I have to deliver a 2-hour speech at that time. That's what goes through my head. My security, who does what, it is their duty. They get paid for that. I get paid for giving a speech. Let's all do our jobs. It's not my job to look at where police are and what they are doing. They will give a report if something goes wrong with that body, which they are assigned to look after. So you now want to make me a supervisor of police. I must now look after them instead of them looking after me. It's not my duty.
If I understood your evidence correctly yesterday, was that 4 police bodyguards were always with you. You even said when you go to the toilet, these people will be with you.
I've never said 4 bodyguards were always with me. I said these are bodyguards and they are assigned to a body. When you go to a toilet, they are there. It can't be all 4 of them. Obvious. I mean, they assign each other's responsibilities. I was just saying to the court, I had subs with me. As to which one was in the car, which one was on the stage, their pocketbook will tell. But subs was there. And it is not in dispute, Your Worship, that I had police with me.
Thank you. I'm going to go on to the next bodyguard statement. It's marked A66. The introductory paragraphs is not that important. I hope you don't mind if I go straight to the crux of the actual statement. The next statement that I want to read to you is Lugisa Morrison Nzelani. He also states that on 21 July 2018, my colleague and I was assigned to escort, I assume it's escort and typing errors, Mr. Julius Malema and his dignitaries who arrived at his London airport. With us was, it's supposed to be 3 colleagues from the National Protection Security Officers whom we met at his London airport. The 3 colleagues are known to me as Collins, Kara, Chauke, and I can confirm that Collins drove Julius Malema's vehicle, a black Mercedes-Benz, from the arrival until the departure. On the 28th of July 2018, I can confirm that Collins from the National Protection Security Service drove Mr. Malema's vehicle. Sergeant Kuma from his London PSS office was the leading vehicle, a 328 BMW. It's type LAC, L-A-C-K, but I assume it's supposed to be black vehicle. And that was just a typing, and he was alone. I was in the backup vehicle, a Ford Ranger, white in color, with Kara from the National PSS office. We departed from the accommodation site to the Sisa Dukasha Stadium, Dansanis, London, in the above formation. On our arrival, the 3 colleagues from the National PSS office was allowed on the stage erected for the EFF 5th celebrations, while myself and Sergeant Kuma was not allowed and remained parked outside the designated area. I can confirm that during the evening of 28th of July 2018, my colleague and I was allowed into the designated area by the tents to get food. Later, we were allowed to enter the parking area to align the vehicle for the escort, to be escorted out. At no stage did I enter the stage area and witness any shooting taking place in my presence. I only became aware of the alleged shooting taking place via the national news and social media. They also state that it was the type of firearm number 10, the firearms that they had on their possession. So I don't really want to focus on the last paragraph. It's just basically saying what they had, what they were carrying during that. So in other words, he said he was also not close to that stage or at the stage during the incident. He didn't see what transpired there.
I wouldn't know is his statement.
I want to move to the next bodyguard statement, Mr. Peter Piha Edwin Kage. It's A67. Paragraph 1, he basically just gives his occupation, where he's employed, and so on. I don't think it's necessary to read that particular paragraph, but he was also one of the protection services people. I'm going to start with his affidavit that he made, paragraph 2. The purpose of this affidavit is to provide the investigating officer with my version of events that took place during the EFF. But I just want to make sure that my colleagues did get the actual statement also. Sorry, I apologize.
Please remember when you read, I'm still writing.
Yes, I want to apologize for that.
If all the statements that were confirmed and the cross-examined on the Swahili.
You don't want to take them out of the
No, I'm not saying anything, but I've got no objection.
Thank you. Proceed.
Thank you, Bishop. I'll try to read slower. Thank you, Mr. I'm going to start with paragraph 2. I'm going to read much slower than I did earlier. The purpose of this affidavit is to provide the investigating officer with my version of events that took place during the EFF 5th anniversary celebration in Lansana, East London on 28 July 2018. This affidavit does not traverse each and every detail of the event, but rather addresses the incident regarding the alleged discharging of a firearm by the political party leader, Commander-in-Chief, Mr. Julius Malema, who was at the time the subject of my duties as a VIP protector. Paragraph 3. During the alleged incident referred to in paragraph 2 above, I was on the stage with my back turned to the crowd. My back was turned to the crowd because I think he want to say I was in charge of securing the back door to the left. I was covering the left side entrance from the back that lead to the front of the stage. I was responsible, among other things, for the verification of accreditations of individuals who were gaining access to the stage.
Bishop, may I make a suggestion that we hand the worship a copy? These are long statements. It's not in dispute. I can hand them to your worship rather than waiting, because the questions are becoming 5 or 10 minutes. It's difficult to answer. In any event, I believe once he's cross-examined on them, they could be accepted as exhibits. I have them all. I'll hand them out as he talks. My one has a bit of underlining, but he has 65, 66, and there's on 67. We have spare copies.
Thank you.
It will be in the end series, because they've got flags to assist your worship as well. Worship, let me also explain, there are signed versions. Worship, the document was typed, as it often happens.
Yes.
So it will say they're signed, and it was signed in the handwritten version.
No, I
There's
accept that.
nothing to be drawn from the fact that they're not attested to in these copies.
No,
If you worship once, I'll give you the handwritten ones.
No, I accepted those copies and that it is typed and it will be easier for me to follow. Thank you. Thank you, Advocate.
Thank you very much. I think I stopped, but I was covering the left side entrance from the back that lead to the front of the stage. I was responsible, amongst other things, for the verification of accreditation of individuals who were gaining access to the stage. In paragraph 4, I did not personally see the Commander-in-Chief, Mr. Julius Malema, discharge any firearm during the event and during his time on stage. Further to the above, I did not see him in possession of any item that had the appearance of a real or toy gun. Paragraph 5. During the time the Commander-in-Chief was on the stage, there was a substantial noise resulting from the fireworks which were ignited at the time he was on stage. As a result thereof, I cannot state, deny or confirm that I heard the sound of gunshots.
It's his statement, Your Worship. And what is more interesting is that they went to collect their statements, but never invited them here to come and become witnesses. The court should wonder why. Why the officers of the court who were there on that day, who could be the most reliable witnesses of all witnesses, were left out. If anything, we went to fetch a cleaner who picked up a cartridge, but did not go and fetch a trained police officer who can distinguish all types of sounds and who can distinguish real or a toy gun. I never asked for their statements. They collected their statements and never invited them here. Some of these questions as to where were you parked? Were you sleeping? Were you eating? You went to fetch food. What time? I can't answer for that. They must answer for themselves because they were since invited to come and give their statement. So, Your Worship, the statements are not favorable to the case of the state. As a result, they leave out the people who can help this court arrive at a proper conclusion because of that, those people. Those are the most trusted people of all of us who were there, police officers.
Mr. Malema, the person that you identified yesterday on the video, which you said was a close protection person, that specific person, what was his name?
Kari. And I'm not just saying he was there, I showed you on the video there. And not my video, your video. I didn't bring any video myself.
Do you know this Kari is just a nickname? Do you know what's his real name?
The way you are reading it differently, I'm reading it differently. But if you give me that thing, the name, whatever paper you are reading, maybe we're talking about the same thing. Because I had your pronunciation is different from my pronunciation, but we're going in the same direction.
Yes. I'm going to read the affidavit now of Mr. Thomas Chauke to you.
Is it A68?
It's A68.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to start at paragraph 2 because paragraph 1 is basically just where he's employed and the formalities in making an affidavit of this nature.
Sure.
Paragraph 2 states the purpose of this affidavit is to provide the investigating officer with my version of events that took place during the EFF's 5th anniversary celebration at Mdansane, East London on the 28th July 2018. This affidavit does not transverse each and every detail of the event, but rather addresses the incident regarding the alleged discharging of a firearm by a political party leader, Commander-in-Chief, Mr. Julius Malema, who was at the time the subject of my duties as a VIP protector. Paragraph 3. During the alleged incident referred to in paragraph 2 above, I was on the stage with my back turned to the crowd. My back was turned to the crowd because I was in charge of securing the back door to the right. I was covering the right side entrance from the back that lead to the front of the stage. I was responsible, amongst other things, for the verification of accreditation of individuals who were gaining access to the stage. I did not personally see the Commander-in-Chief, Mr. Julius Malema, discharge a firearm during the event and during his time on stage. Further to the above, I did not see him in possession of any item that had the appearance of a real toy gun. Paragraph 5. During the time the Commander-in-Chief was on the stage, there was a substantial noise resulting from the fireworks which were ignited at the time he was on stage. As a result thereof, I cannot state, deny, or confirm that I heard the sounds of gunshots. So if you look at his affidavit, it's almost identical than the one that I've just read previously.
Yes. And we're in no position, Your Worship, to ask them if they were assisted by the investigating officer or whoever to compile those statements, because they were never called in. But I wish the Worship to note something. In the VIP protection, and I'm not sure if it's the procedure of all the police, there is what they call a pocket book. They write every little detail. We are now being read the statements of the police officers who were there. But nowhere are we provided a pocket book, copy of the pocket book of each police officer who was there. Because if there was any incident that required the police to record it, they would have recorded it, because at that time they would not have thought maybe this is going to be an issue. But as part of their procedure, they must record it. We're not being told about the pocket book of the police, what it says. We're not being given the most reliable witnesses of the court, in this court, to come and speak to their statement. What happens, which is unfair to me, I must now speak for them. Where the statement were taken, I don't know. Who advised them to take the statement? What happened? I don't know. What was the context? What was the environment? I don't know. But what the court needs to notice in all of those statements that have been read so far, not a single statement suggests there was any wrongdoing.
Mr. Malema, it's common cause that this event did take place. It's common cause between the state and the defense that shots were fired. Whether the only issue here is whether it was a toy firearm or a real gun. So the reason why I'm reading this, I'm still going to get to that part, if you would allow me.
No problem.
The next statement is one also for the bodyguards. It's marked A69. It's Migolani.
So this one is attested, you see.
Mbulaheni Colin Nengovela. Mark A69. I'm going to leave paragraph 1 because basically it's just a description of his occupation, where he is employed, and the formalities that you have to comply with when you draft an affidavit. I'm going to start with paragraph 2. The purpose of this affidavit is to provide the investigating officer with my version of events that took place during the EFF 5th anniversary celebration at Ndansane, East London on 28 July 2018. This affidavit does not traverse each and every detail of the event, but rather addresses the incident regarding the alleged discharging of a firearm by a political party leader, Commander-in-Chief, Mr. Julius Malema, who was at the time the subject of my duties as a VIP protector. Paragraph 3. During the alleged incident referred to in paragraph 2 above, I was at all material times stationed in the primary motor vehicle that was utilized to transport Mr. Malema as the primary subject of my VIP protection duties. I was never on stage during the alleged incident. Therefore, I did not personally see the Commander-in-Chief, Mr. Julius Malema, discharge any firearm during the event and during his time on stage. Further to the above, I did not see him in possession of any item that had the appearance of a real or toy gun, whether in the car or on any such stage.
Their statement, Your Worship, but from prosecutor's point of view, objective, if he had not allowed to be used by AfriForum for political ends, wouldn't be where we are. This matter was advocated for by AfriForum. This was no issue, Your Worship. That's why no one picked it up. There was no issue at all. When they saw something that they can use to politically discredit me, they pressured the NPA to prosecute even where there is no issue. I'm now being made to answer a statement which does not implicate me, because I have to be implicated for me to answer. What am I answering now? This person says, I've not seen Mr. Malema do the things that you are saying he has done. And then I'm brought before this court to come and answer someone who says, I did not see me doing anything unlawful. It's unfair. This court must never be abused for political means. Crime is crime, it must be punishable. But where there is no prima facie of such, we should not even try to canvass those grounds. As a public protector, a public prosecutor, he's my prosecutor as well. I'm part of the state. He has a duty to say, there's nothing against this guy. I'm not going to prosecute. And allow the AfriForum to prosecute me privately if they so wish. But they must not use the limited resources of the NPA to bring a non-existing issue here. 5 officers of the court on site, not a single one of them says, I've seen Mr. Malema engaged in unlawful activities. And what makes me happy is that in 174, Your Worship was reluctant to canvass these grounds because they were brought to you at a later stage, not much earlier, of the subs VIP being there and their statements. I'm happy now, finally, they are now being presented here as in cross-examination, because this truth I would have told the worship even if they had not brought them forward, that there were police with me on the stage. And how do I commit crime in the presence of the police and I don't get arrested immediately? I'm not a leader of a ruling party. Neither am I a favorite of a ruling party. There is no favor I can do for them for not arresting me. Nothing. So why didn't they arrest me there and there if I did anything wrong?
Mr. Malema, just for the record, you were in court when Colonel Kunkwari testified, and he said that he was the complainant who opened this docket against you.
He was told to open the case against me. He didn't open a case out of his own volition. He was told. Your worship is in the, even in your judgment is there. He was told everything went well. That's my guy. Everything went well according to him. And then the next thing, boom, go and open a case. And I'm an officer of the law. I work under commanders. When I'm told to do something, I do it so that we can get to the bottom of this. He never, on his own, opened a case. He never, on his own. That is another police officer, by the way, who was responsible for job. He never said from his mouth, I saw Mr. Malema doing something wrong. Never said that. If anything, I was relaxed and told to go and open a case. What can I do? I'm just a mere police officer. I will never hate him for that. I will never take anything personal against him for that. The man never wanted to open any case against me. He was told to do so.
Mr. Malema, if you could allow me to ask you the questions and then you answer that particular question. It will make our time here much shorter. The police said they've never seen you having or bringing that toy firearm or being in possession of that toy firearm or a real firearm on the stage on the night in question. You confirm that from the statements you've heard.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I'm saying I brought a toy gun, and none of those statements says I did not bring or I brought a toy gun. So I'm the one who can tell you. That is the only version that stands here.
Who brought the toy firearm to this event?
It will be the EFF Secretary General's office, because they are the ones who organize the event.
The toy firearm that you showed yesterday, to whom does it belong to?
It belongs to the EFF.
Who was in possession of this particular toy firearm before it was fired?
No, Larry handed it over to me. Larry Mabunda. On the picture with accused number 2. On the video, is seen there. After I shot that toy gun, I handed it over back to where it came from capable hands of Larry Mabunda.
Why was it left with the security guard, Larry Mabunda, when this is just a normal toy that anybody can carry?
He also had my bag. Why did he carry it? This is my bodyguard. He's dead.
You refer to toy firearms. Toy firearms is almost like the play firearms. It doesn't do any damage. It doesn't cause any harm to anybody. Why was it left with Larry Mabunda?
Your Worship, that toy firearm was brought into this court yesterday by Larry Mabunda. That's his job. My bag, I don't have a bag. I'm walking into this court. Where is my bag? Is with him. I only access that toy firearm when the part comes, and then I hand it over back to them. Why have you ever seen a president going around carrying things? We get served.
Mr. Malema, is Mr. Mabunda here today?
Yes.
Where is he?
It's in the audience.
Can you show us which one is Mr.
Is this
Mabunda?
allowed? Is this allowed?
Is he present today?
Yes, here.
And why can't you just show who he is?
But is it allowed that I should be pointing people in the crowds that are not before this court? What have we turned this court into? Into a mockery.
Mr. Malema, we're going to view the video footage.
That is what is before the court. Play it.
If you say...
Larry Mabunda is not before the court. Yes. Why must I be made to point him in the crowd? It's not before the court. We should respect the court, because I'm going to ask you if those officers you are reading their statements, are they here? Can you point them? I take what you are saying as being before the court, and I deal with that evidence before the court. The evidence before the court is the video where Larry Mabunda is. I will gladly ask her to stop and show the court who is Larry Mabunda. But to be made to point people in the crowds, I don't think that is acceptable.
You identified Mr. Mabunda on that video footage yesterday, is that correct?
Yes.
The only thing that I'm asking is to confirm that this person that you identified in that video footage is present and where he is.
I said he's present. He's not the subject of debate. When you were playing the video here during the whole trial, you used to say, do you see any person on that video who's here? They will say, yes, accused number 2, yes, accused number 1. They've never said we saw the person at the back of the court. It's never like that. Larry Mabunda, you had a duty and you dismally failed the state and wasted the resources of South Africa. You had a duty to charge Larry Mabunda. You didn't charge him. You want me to charge him in the audience? I won't do that. Your Worship, the firearm in question was issued to Larry Mabunda. Larry Mabunda is seen on the stage with me where it is alleged that that firearm shot at the shots at the stadium. Where is the first place to go to? Is to go to a person who in his name the firearm has been issued. And what makes matters worse is that the person in question is there in the video, which makes him even more suspect. They don't do that. They leave him out and then they come here to say to me I must point him in the crowd. It's not my job to point people at the crowd. It's my job to point at the evidence presented before you to confirm or deny it.
You also testified yesterday that Colonel Swartboy never came to ask you for your own firearm, because that firearm, the 9mm, we see there could have been your own firearm.
Yes. But again, Your Worship, and the court has got a duty to protect me. I'm being asked about the firearms that are not before this court. You brought a firearm to this court. Let's deal with it, and not what is not before this court.
Can you confirm, Mr. Malema, that the firearm that was used, is that a toy firearm, the 9mm handgun?
I don't know what is 9mm, what is what. I showed you the toy gun I used. Yeah, that's my toy gun.
I'm going to request Ms. Kala to play the videos for you. If you can play all three and then we'll go back again.
Just a minute, I think it's easy. The gallery, I can't hear what is being said in front if you are mumbling amongst yourself. There's a lot of you, it makes it difficult to hear. Sound travels in my direction. Please.
Your Worship, can I ask you to play that, the last one, so I can show you the two VIP protection PSS people I'm talking about?
We want to get there, Mr. Malema.
Oh.
Can you play the video that he just requested? Can you please wait? We're going to question you. We're going to question, we're going to ask questions.
The or what that we are going to watch?
No, the one that he just wanted to see.
Okay.
Yes. But can you please wait until we question you about that? Play the third video. I want you to go to the first video again, the one with the 9mm handgun. Can you stop where the shots are fired with the 9mm? That is the 9mm handgun that I'm referring to.
I don't know.
It's a handgun.
I can't see a gun of 9mm what. I can't, from where I'm sitting. I can't. And there was no such a 9mm what before this court for me to answer to it. If they brought to you before you your worship a 9mm what and how it looks like, maybe I will have an idea what they are talking about. I don't know. I can't see. What is that? I can't stand here and say that is 9mm barrel. What? I don't know.
Can we agree that it's a smaller firearm than the other two videos?
No, I can't see if it's smaller or big. This camera was shot too far. I can't see that. Even when you do it with those people of photography, zoom in and what, I don't see it.
Do you want to go closer, sir?
I've been closer 6 years ago. I can still go now. I can't see it. I can't see it. Your worship, it was going to be helpful if you brought something here so that I can answer what I see and what I see there. I can't. I'm being made to answer for something I don't know what this is for.
Is that the same size firearm than the one that you brought here yesterday?
How do I say it's the same size if I can't see it? I just told you I can't see it. How do I say it's the same or not?
I put it to you that it's a 9mm, that's a handgun.
That's your version to the court, and it remains yours.
The expert that also testified yesterday also saw that that was a handgun.
At least you and that expert agree on something else. At least you also call him expert. I like that. Because he was being questioned here about peer review, which you never did with your expert. 9 statement of a ballistic expert. You never asked for peer review. The court never asked for a peer review. The expert who came and said the things that you didn't like, you asked for peer review. The court said, what must I take this evidence for if it doesn't have a peer review signature? Why did the court not ask those 9 statements about the peer review signatures? Is this a fair trial? Am I being tried fairly?
Mr. Malema, I'm going to put on record that you are vague and you are avoiding the questions.
Agrio said we must speak to each other in a respectful way. You are not going to do that of pointing pens at me because I can do it times 5. And it's not going to be nice here.
Mr. Malema, the video that you're seeing there, I'm putting it to you, it's a handgun.
You said I'm vague. That's fine. That's what my lawyers will argue with you about. I don't know what is vague. All I'm saying to you is that from where I'm sitting, and I'm not the first one, even the gear house people who came here said from this angle I can't see that gun, whether it's a gun or what, I don't know. I can't see. And then I'm asked about the size of this gun and the gun that I presented and the one you presented, but never presented this gun. If this gun was before this court, I would gladly answer to say, okay, let me look at this one, let me look at the toy, let me look at that one. They are not the same. So I'm being made to answer the things that are not before this court. It's not here.
How many firearms was brought by yourself or the EFF for this display that was going to take place?
The one I showed you yesterday. Which looks exactly the same as the one you brought. That's what is before this court.
You are unable to tell that the one that we're seeing on this video is the same one which you uses on the other 2 videos.
I can't. I don't see it. It could as well be. I can't. I'm sorry. If that is being vague, let it be. Let me fall on my sword.
Yesterday, it was asked by the ballistic expert, Mr. de Klerk, to count those number of shots that were fired from that handgun.
Which one is the handgun now? This one?
This one that we're seeing in this video.
Oh. It was not asked, and I don't know why the court is not intervening there, because it was not asked on this gun. It was asked on a rifle, not on this.
He was specifically asked to count the number of shots you could hear whether it has been fired in this specific video. And he counted about 14 to 15 shots that he heard.
I don't know, the lawyers will have to intervene. I think it was a rifle. I counted with him. It was not on this. It was a rifle. What was asked from a guy to count was on a rifle. It was not on this.
Mr. Malema, what I recall, he asked me to adjourn so we can look closer at the video we are watching now. And this is from this video that he was counting. But as you say, your lawyers may intervene. If I have got it wrong, I apologize.
Confirm that it was on this video, but he never referred to a 9mm. He said
no,
that
it
it
did not
appears to
say
be a
9.
gunshot, but 9mm overstating the cost of the state. He keeps on referring to it as a 9mm handgun. He said that it appears to be a handgun. He doesn't know if it's real or not, and he counted 14 or 15 shots of this video.
Yes. So the only aspect that I advocate is that the word 9mm was not used, but handgun was used.
Well, it appears to be a handgun.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yes. So, in this video, it appears to be a handgun that you're seeing there. That was the evidence of Mr. de Klerk, the expert yesterday. It was further canvassed with him how he was asked to listen to the video and hear how many shots was fired from that video. Are you still following?
Yes, I'm following. I didn't hear the question.
Yes. We just tried to put you into context before the question arrived. So he confirmed that you really need to use the word every time appeared to be a handgun, appeared to be a handgun every time.
Because he was not sure himself. That's why he says it appears to be. It has to be like that repeatedly so that we don't get confused that there was some concession at some point that it is what you say it is. It appears to be, to him.
You've asked, he's actually posed the question to the court, Mr. Malema, so I'll answer him after hearing from counsel and from counsel. To me, I've noted, and it's common cause the evidence refers to what appears to be. The whole case is what appears to be. So do you wish that the word appears to be repeated, or can I take note that it is being said right through the trial? Not only pertaining to the handgun, but even the rifle appears to be.
I think it's more accurate to say what appears to be, because it hasn't been established that there's any firearm in this place by anybody. And another issue that I have with my own friend's question is I don't see it in any of the charges. I don't know which charge is referring to, because it was always the rifle that was in issue in counts 1 to 5, and even the ammunition wouldn't fit into a handgun, so I don't know what charge this is, if it's even a charge.
We'll hear from the state where he's leading with this. Do you have any input, Advocate Audience? Advocate Matthews?
No.
None?
No.
Advocate Caesar, please use the verbal words appear to be.
Thank you, Bishop. Can I ask firstly what type of firearm do you own?
I own a Taurus 9mm.
Which is a handgun.
Those things of handgun and what I don't know about this one. Yeah, the small one. I'm not a fanatic of those things.
That is indeed a handgun, Mr. Malema.
Okay, a handgun, yes.
So if I look at the video, it also appears to be a handgun that you are firing there.
Like I said, my brother, I can't see what is there. You know, had you charged me with this, perhaps I would have paid a particular attention to it and prepare my defense on this thing that you are presenting before me, which court is unable to protect me from. Because I've faced no charge of this nature, and therefore I've been made to answer on things I've never prepared on. My accusation has always been that I've discharged a rifle and a cartridge of a rifle has been found, and I've prepared my defense in relation to that. Now I'm made to answer things that were never put to me before in order for me to prepare this trial, for it to be a free and fair trial. So I don't see what is there.
Mr. Malema, I'll make it clear now why this is so important in the context of the whole trial. Can you play the video where those people are standing while the shots is being fired? Okay, stop. If you look at the side where you're actually firing the shots, which is the right hand side, from where I'm standing, are there people there? And I want you to look at the reaction of those people there once you started firing those shots.
Which people? On the stage?
There. Can you go back? Do you understand now why this is so relevant? Because in your evidence yesterday you said once you fire shots, where you coming from, people don't ask questions, they don't look who fired the shots, they just duck or they fall down. In this instance, we see people actually running away when you are firing those shots.
Can I take issue with that? I don't see anybody running. You must show me where you see somebody running. That's incorrect.
But Your Worship, can I also come and point at the worship on the thing here?
I must just first answer to the objection, and then we'll continue. Rephrase running or indicate the running advocacies.
They are moving away, Your Worship, and moving quick.
Your Worship, that's inaccurate. You don't see anybody moving quick. You see people on the stage, remaining on the stage, people in front of the stage, remaining in front of the stage.
Advocate Oris, you are saying what you are seeing,
Yes.
so you're asking me to accept what you are seeing.
Yes, no, well, if it's an inaccurate illustration of what he sees, that it doesn't call for an answer, he must ask, do you see people running, is the first question. Not that he sees people running, because I don't see people running, definitely not.
I'll decide, but the view of the state, and you will obviously not be say. You may play it again and indicate where. I believe yesterday it was said the video cannot be slowed down. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct, Your Worship. So that's one of the reasons why I asked that earlier, Your Worship, that video must be viewed thoroughly first by counsel and accused number 1 and number 2 to look at these issues that I'm going to raise now.
Worship, that's a lie to the court, and I have to make it very clear. He never asked me to see the video once, and he never said thoroughly. He's now making up a story to explain what he sees in the video, which is incorrect. And in any event, this should unfold in court. It doesn't serve any purpose to do it in some quiet room where nobody's watching. It must be open and transparent, and we're doing that exactly now. He never asked me to watch the video this morning, Worship, and he made that clear even in his address to the court. And he never said thoroughly. He said, to prepare them to answer the questions, I want to give them 13 minutes to look at the video, quote unquote. And not the counsel. I need the accused 1 and 2 for the record, Your Worship.
By him, you're referring to counsel for the state.
The prosecutors.
Thank you, Advocate Oris. We'll watch once more. Then I'm going to adjourn for the tea attorney. We'll come back having all clear minds.
Thank you.
Let us have a look again.
Yes.
Then during the, oh no, you can't ask. Your client wanted to comment or ask something. I didn't entertain because I don't know what you're going to say or ask, and you're not in my hands at this stage. Okay?
He said what I wanted to say.
Sorry?
My counsel said what I wanted to say. Yes.
All right, then it's fine. All right, that's it.
Can you play that video again?
What I would suggest, and it's a suggestion only, is that I'm counting 7 people if we are speaking to about the one right in the corner.
Yes.
So we can count the people in the beginning and count the people at the end. It's my solution. Whether you want to follow that will be up to the state. I can't dictate what the state wants to or how you want to present your evidence.
That's correct.
Okay, it's 15 minutes.
Your Worship, can I speak before you adjourn? Because then, after what you said, I have to come in so that when we go to the break, we're all in the same understanding.
Mr. Malema, keep in mind that it's not supposed to be in discussion. You are in the hands of the state. Advocate Oris cannot protect you if you say something which you should not be placing on record, although you may feel you want to. So I can't say yes, please go ahead, or no, don't.
Through him, please, I want to say this. Because now we're being covered.
I don't know.
Now we're
can't talk to him because he's
yes.
across there.
Yes, I know what
Yeah.
under process,
Yes.
but I also need to prevent him from saying anything that we don't want to be said.
No, not at all.
He's free to speak.
Well, Your Worship, we are now splitting hairs. Can I come and point at you? Because you have counted people. Can I also come and point at you? What is my observation there?
We're going to count when we adjourn and come back beginning and if the state wants to count. Otherwise, I'm not going to write down how many I'm counting because I'm not a witness.
I'm just making a simple point that if you look at the people, he says they are running away because they are scared, which is something I want to point
No.
here.
He did not say because they are scared.
No, because I'm firing a shot, the people are running away. He's talking about the people there by the fence, there next to the grandstand. There are people right in front of the stage.
Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the people right in front of the
Yes.
stage, not at the grandstand.
So there's no one there who's running away there.
Okay, we clarified the running away with Advocate Odez's objection and it changed to moving away. Running away has been clarified, so it's no longer an issue, running away. So also myself, obviously we're not looking at the same, you are referring to, you circled it with the arrow
Yes,
in
correct.
front of the stage.
Yes, correct. Worship, I suggest that we adjourn at this stage. We come back after the tea break and then we will go through that part again.
I'll decide when we're going to come back. Alright. It's nearly... Let's see, Mark. What is the correct time? Is it 42 or 22?
46.
Huh?
46.
Correct.
So I'm being voted with my watch is there, maybe so. I'll enter to give everyone, because you'll be looking at stuff and a water break, etc. Let us say 20 minutes then at 11:05. That's suitable. Go for the You may proceed to the Caesar.
Thank you, Worship. Mr. Malema, I want to ask you to look at those 7 people that are standing there before the actual shots were fired. And I also want to look at you, I want you to look at them, their reaction during the process of that shots being fired, and you tell us what you see.
Which 7 are you looking
The
at?
7 at the far right in the direction where
Of the boundary wall.
Oh yes, they're those ones.
Okay.
Did you observe that?
Yes.
Can you tell us what did you see?
Nothing. I see the crowds that are gathered in front of the stage. And of course, they are not seated. There's up and downs. People do as they want to in a stadium like that. Because your worship, logically, and that's what should come to our mind, all of us. Why would shots being fired, the people who are right in front of the shots being fired don't run away? and were shown some people there who are actually in some uniform, maybe cleaning or something. I don't even know what they are doing there. The immediate threat should be with these people who are in front of the stage, and they are unmoved. So I'm shown some people there. I don't know what they are, whether they are picking up papers, whether they are security guards or what, I don't know. But it looks like they've got reflectors on. None of them came to you here, your worship, and said they ran away or they were moved by shots. And none of the witnesses who came here suggested those people were running away or moved by the sound of a firearm.
Ms. Carla, would you be able to point with your mouse there? So I just want to make sure that we are on the same page when you play that video. Can you please pause there? Can you please pause there? Do you see that 7 people, and you point with the mouse, standing there on the far right?
I'm the one who pointed the court to those people, and the court said it was not even looking at those people. I can't point at them if I don't see them. I did. I pointed them to the court.
Right? But do you see them just standing?
They are standing because this thing is not playing. How can they move when you have paused? Can
you go back and just show how they're actually standing? Can you pause? Go back. Go back. An inch back. I want Mr. Malema to see how those people are standing there. Do you see them just standing?
I see them. They are not standing. There's movement amongst themselves. It might not be as visible as you want to us to make that observation. They are not standing. These people, when you look at them, your worship, as they are now, when they've paused them, they are together as a group, isolated. Obviously, they are busy with something else other than what we are doing here. That's why they are not with this crowd. They are there, doing their own thing.
Do you want to come to the bigger screen to look at it?
I see them very well. It can't change. My vision can't change. Those people are a group of people who are moving around. As to what they are doing, I don't know. But they don't look like they are part of the crowds. That's why it is not, doesn't come as a shock when they move around and do whatever they want to do. But at least we're all like in agreement that no one is running away.
I want to put it to you that they are just standing still. Nobody's moving before you fired that shot.
They are standing still because you pressed pause.
Can we play? Can you stop? We've unpaused it now for you.
It's paused. What do you mean we have unpaused it? It's paused.
Can you play? Can you see it's unpaused?
No, those people have got an activity, my brother. Whether you like it or not, they've got, look at how they were now. They are pulling away from each other like this. They are engaged in an activity. They are not part of this. They've got their own activity.
The bottom line is, Mr. Malema, they are remaining on the same spot before you fired the shots.
You've got my vision.
Can we confirm that?
I'm not confirming that.
Go back. I want you to look at their reaction once you fired the shots. Can you pause? What did you see when you started firing the shots on the video?
Nothing. I'm saying to you, and you can take whatever decision you want to take. You're showing me some people in some corner. A shot is being fired from a stage. Do you see anyone running away from the stage? Where the shot is being fired from? Do you see anyone running away from the stage? Right immediately where the shot is being fired from. Do you see anyone running away? I'm showing some people who are engaged in some activity on the sideline of the event, and I must be answerable for them. I don't see anything. I see people on the stage, I see people in front of the stage. None of them act in a terrified manner, none of them ran away. The stage is still intact.
Are we looking at the same video, Mr. Malema?
We're looking at the same video, yeah. Sorry.
Can you play it again? Yes, you can go back, sir.
No, I don't want to go back. I want to point. Before the shots are fired, this is the man who's standing here. Here. After the shots are fired, this man is still standing here. Before the shots are fired, Mam Kaula is dancing here. After the shots were fired, Mam Kaula is standing here. These are human beings who should react. What is more important about those people than the people who are immediate next to the action? What is this selective way of wanting to arrive at the justice? I'm not pointing at people in the periphery. I'm pointing you to the people who are next to the activity. You can't point at one of them as running away or moving away or anything of that sort. So I'm not going to be answerable for people that I don't even know what they are there for. I don't know whether it was their time to depart or whatever. Whatever coincidence happened, I don't know. All I'm saying is you've got women on the stage there. You've got women and children in front of the stage, the young people. You've got men on the stage there. None of them act terrified. Even the man who sings, who leads the song, your worship, he doesn't, when he hears what is so-called shots, so he sings the way he was singing. Nothing changes in his voice. Because he must react if there is something that is unusual happening. Sorry.
Mr. Malema, we will keep this proceedings very short if you answer the questions the way it has been asked by you. We are going to get to the people on the stage. We are only referring to the people there on the far right, as pointed out to you, the 7 people who are standing there.
I think my learned friend has exhausted this line of questioning. It's going to get us nowhere now. It's going to be a matter for argument with respect to it.
You may proceed, then I will make the ruling if it's repetitive. That's a good enough. Thank you.
Let me tell you, there is no one who can tell me how to answer questions. No one. Not even a hanging judge can do that to me. No one. It's not going to start with you. It has never happened. I'm answering the way I want to answer.
Which direction are you moving from that stage? Which direction are you moving? You are moving to the far right. Is that correct? And you're also firing shots towards the right where those people are standing. Can you confirm that?
I'm not firing any shots, by the way. There's no shots I'm firing. So which shots am I going to say I'm firing them from the far right? I'm not firing any shots. I've never fired any shots.
Is it correct that before you fired shots, there were 7 people standing there?
Well, it's your vision. I see people there. I still see them standing there. And that's my vision.
correct, once you fire those shots, those people are moving fast away from the
It's not correct. It's actually a lie.
Can you play that one more time before I leave this point? Repose. Can you confirm that after you fired shots, there's nobody there again? Those people are no longer there.
It's not true. They are there.
Where do you see them?
Those people are there. One of them is still, the camera is still showing the one of the people that you are pointing at. You said nobody is there. So I wouldn't know off camera where those people are. You wouldn't know yourself. You wouldn't know. If they are off camera, whose problem is that? Can't be my problem. But no one has been moved because I fired shots. It's not true. No one has said that. You are actually assuming by looking at a movie.
Did you have your own firearm there on the night in question?
No. I had subs with me. Why do I need a firearm?
Who provided you with that firearm that you are being seen?
I don't.
Shots?
No, I've never accepted that I see a firearm there. I'm saying to you, I wouldn't know whether this is the part of the rifle or not the part of the rifle. My concentration has always been about the charge you have put before me, and the charge before me is the rifle. I've not paid attention to that thing. If I discharged a 9mm pistol, in this picture should have been charged with it, and it was supposed to be brought to this court, then I will know that I've got a duty to prepare myself on this aspect because I'm being charged with it. So to me, it's non-issue this.
Mr. Malema, you have been charged for discharging a firearm in a built-up area. That's exactly what that represents when you're discharging it.
You brought a firearm you are alleging I discharged at the stadium. You didn't bring this one. Bring it now. Let's see. The firearm you are alleging I discharged in an enclosed area is the one you brought to this court. And then I brought the one that I discharged on that day. Had you made any allegation about this, I would have provided this court with sufficient response because I would have prepared myself in this regard. This is no charge before me.
This evidence in our own was always part of the state's case.
You did not charge me with any pistol. You never brought any pistol before this court.
Mr. Malema, if that was a real pistol, hypothetically speaking, and you have discharged it in the manner which we see you discharge on the video, which you have put the lives of those people that were standing there or around the stadium in danger, hypothetically speaking.
I will not have put anyone's life in danger because I will never have done that. Not even in a dream I can wake up. If I dream like that, I wake up immediately. I will never put the lives of our people at risk. My Lord, these are not people, just people to me. These are EFF voters. Why would I put the life of a voter at risk? I need that vote.
I want you to count the number of shots that has actually been fired there. Can you agree that it is indeed between 14 and 15 shots that has been fired there? As has been testified by the expert of yesterday. Or do you want to listen?
I'm going to play it again, yes, so I can count.
able to count, or do you want to play it
Yeah, I
again?
did.
Yes, how many?
20.
Your own firearm, how many live rounds can your magazine take?
And I don't know those things. I just have a firearm. I don't use it for anything. I don't deal with ammunition. It's there in the safe. I don't know how many rounds it carries. I've never paid attention to those things.
You've heard the evidence of the ballistic experts that standard 9mm will take, magazine will take about 15 rounds.
You see, now you're talking about an expert. Who am I? I had a difficulty even with woodwork at school, so what is going to happen?
That question should be in the light of the fact that he was asked about a Glock fire.
Repeat that for me, so you
He was asked about the capacity of a Glock fire.
Thank you for that, Mr. Matthews. The evidence of the ballistic expert was that a Glock, the standard magazine of a Glock 9mm firearm, takes about 15 live rounds.
Your Worship, I don't know what is a Glock. All I know, my firearm is written Taurus on top of it. If you go into descriptions, I wouldn't know what is it for. And I'm not interested in the business of those things. I'm in the business of politics, not of firearms. Ballistics will know, and I can't argue with such an expert team.
When you accepted that particular firearm, did you look what type of firearm it was?
Which one?
The one that we see.
I never said I accepted any firearm. When it relates to a firearm here, don't include me. I'm not part of that. I don't know anything about that. I'm going to answer the other firearm which I brought before this court.
We're getting there, Mr. Malema. I want to put it to you that that is indeed a real firearm that you are using right there, endangering the lives of those people who were standing there.
It is your failed version. Incompetent, incoherent version. With no little bit of proof. An abuse of prosecuting powers.
The people on the stadium, you said yesterday, they were all members of parliament and one is a senior counsel. Is that correct?
I never said they were all members of parliament. I said there are some members of parliament. And one of them is a senior counsel of the bar, who will not have witnessed a crime being committed and not reported because the bar will debar him.
The gist of your evidence was basically that it's not nobodies that's standing there, it's important people that's on that stage. Is that correct?
And the revoking of parliament is to say to you, there are lawmakers there who ordinarily will have to respect the law. And when a crime is being committed, they are duty bound to report it. Otherwise, that will be against their oath of office.
In your party, who will nominate those people to be elected as members of parliament, should that be the case?
Branches of the EFF. We hold what we call a list conference, and voting is done secretly. Your Worship, I'm also subjected to the same process where I throw my name and people still have to vote for me to go to parliament, members and branches of the EFF. By virtue of being its president, it's not automatic that I will go to parliament. After being elected in an elective conference of the EFF, when elections come, like they happened now, we go to what we call a list conference. and all those who have interest to go to Parliament gets voted by those people in the list conference of the EFF.
Some of the people on that stage, are they also your close friends, personal friends?
There is no close friend or personal friend of mine. I'm the only child with no parents. I don't know what a close friend is. Many of them I regarded as close friends sold me out. So I play nowhere close to that concept of a close friend. I came alone, I will live alone.
Would you regard the persons coming to support you for your cases as friends?
They are not friends. These are my comrades. This is the leadership of the EFF.
I want to put it to you, Mr. Malema, that it's highly unlikely that any of those people that is on that stage would have reported you or would have laid a charge against you as you want to claim that they should have come forward.
What stops them? Your worship, what stops a senior counsel to report me? What will I do to a senior counsel? These are not laymen. These are not job seekers. These are not my garden boys and domestic workers. I'm giving you an example of a senior counsel, well-seasoned senior counsel. If he wants to create an impression that they were scared of me, why would the senior counsel be scared of me? The person who sings, who's leading the song, by the way, with a microphone, is a doctor. It's a PhD doctor, a thinker of note. It's no layman.
Mr. Malema, let's just get this out of you. You are indeed a very accomplished and an esteemed politician. Can we agree that much?
You can't take that away from me.
Yes. For anybody to just come and lay a charge against you might not just be an easy task.
Why did the police officer do it when a senior counsel can't do it because he's scared of me? A mere police officer. Whatever power I have, which I would have exercised on a senior counsel, what about an ordinary police officer? It's not true, that assertion.
Your evidence? Your evidence was that you, reason why if all this was decided upon was to put up a show and to entertain the crowd. Is that correct?
Yes.
In both videos, on all three videos basically that was played, can you confirm that you're moving away from the people that's actually standing in the crowd towards the far right of the stage, the end of that stage?
Absolutely.
Why would you do that if you were there to entertain the crowd and put up a show?
Well, when you are about to make an act, you have to isolate yourself so that people can see what you are doing. You don't drown in the crowd. Let's take the 10th anniversary of the EFF and the FNB. If you look at that video, I move away from the leadership and I'm alone there in front, and then the stage takes me up alone. It doesn't take me with everyone because it's an act that must be performed by that actor. If we grew up watching movies and not bioscopes, we would understand how movies work.
Is it correct that the act that you're just talking about now, you said you moved to the front,
yes,
in order so people can see you right there in the front,
yes,
and the stage is now going to go up?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Why didn't you do it here in this instance?
The stage is designed differently. If you look at that stage of the FNB, it has got a platform where everybody is seated, and then it has got a runaway. So you move from this crowd, you go as if you are going forward, alone on a runaway. Somewhere you stop there, in the middle of the runaway, the stage goes up. That was different stage to what you see now. Here, these ones are going to be singing on the middle of the stage, and then you will go on the side of the stage to perform the act, so that the act does not get drowned by many people who are on the stage. It's a lead actor. Steering.
What's the point then of that if you have to go right to the corner of that stage where very few people could actually observe what you are about to do?
But you are not there, you don't know if very few people can see what I'm about to do. 1, 2. Your own witnesses who came here told you they had cameras which were beaming us into big screens of that stadium, on the stage and everywhere else. So you are of no authority to come here and say very few people can see me. You were not there, I was there. And I can tell you the act was carried properly the way it was designed and was viewed by the people that we were targeting in that stadium. So no few people viewed that act. Cameras, by the way, your worship, are there for that purpose. Where there is a need for an act to be zoomed into a bigger screen, people should be able to see, because ordinarily as the crowds, as many people, some will be at the far end. So even if you are to perform it right at the center of the stage, without cameras and the screens, a lot of people may not see what you are doing. That's why we've got cameras and we've got big screens. So it doesn't matter from where you are, you will be picked up, especially if this is designed to be part of the act. Everything else you see happening there is calculated. If you go and look at that stage of the EFF going up at the FNB, I dropped the mic. That mic did not disappear. Someone knew the mic is going to be dropped and is going to capture it from the ground and put it safe. Everything is well calculated and designed to be the way it was.
Where was the majority of the supporters and the people standing when you were performing that act?
In front of the stages.
Are you able to estimate how many were in front of the stage? You can make a rough estimation.
I said 20,000 yesterday.
On the video, when you actually went to go perform your act, one can count 7 people from that specific video, just from the video. I'm not talking about what's going on next to and behind.
But if this court is going to allow you to say such things, then I'm not going to answer. Because there's no 7 people who can be counted there. 7 people.
On the far right, those people that we said.
No, you're saying people in front of me, there are no 7 people there. There are a lot of people there.
On the far right, sir, on the videos it's standing there where you went to go perform this specific act. What we count there, the ones that moved away are 7.
I never went to perform this there. I never. I performed this in front of the stage, and that which you see at the end of the pitch is not the front of the stage. that will be misleading to the court. I'm in front of the stage. Those people are not in front of the stage. That's why the videos are misleading. They make you see people as if they are at one place. They are not at one place. If you play this, you will see the corner of that stage. And that corner of the stage was not reaching the end of the pitch. It was in the middle of the pitch. Those people he keeps on referring to, they are almost at the fence that divides the grandstand and the pitch. They are not in front of the stage, those people. The people who are at the front of the stage are the ones I was showing your worship on the screen. Those are the people who are in front of the stage.
Why don't you just fire towards their direction as they are standing there?
It's none of your business. It's my business where I fire from. It's my event. I can even fire under the stage if you so wish. I decide how I'm going to perform it. It's none of your business. You have no business with how EFF conducts its business. As long as it's lawful and it doesn't violate any law, where do you come in? Nganapi?
Mr. Malema, the only logical explanation as to why you did that is because you knew that those firearms were indeed real firearms that you've used there.
An incompetent, incoherent, inferior prosecution is what you are trying to prove here. An abuse of power. You will not win with me. This act can be performed anywhere. I can even go and perform it on the grandstand if you wish. Anywhere. There is no prescription by the law. That's why I'm asking you, where do you come in? There is no law that says you must perform it here, not there. Perform it there, not there. I can go anywhere I want to do this, where it will have a maximum impact, where it will not drown in the crowd. I will still perform it. I write my own script.
Ms. Kana, can you go to the third video, please? The viral one. The reason why I'm showing you both videos, I wanted to show you that in the first video, the firearm that you're using there, the handgun, gives out a muzzle flash when you were firing shots. In this video, the other rifle, the rifle that you're using there, also having a muzzle flash when you're firing that. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
You already stated that the person that handed this rifle over to you was Malema. Is that correct?
Yes.
And Malema is not seen on the video how he hands over this rifle to you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Accused number 2 is also visible on this video, is that correct?
Absolutely.
Was he there as one of your personal protectors?
No.
In that capacity?
No.
Your close protectors, including the SCPS, they also had rifles, and there were other rifles on this particular scene or on that stage on the night in question. Is that correct?
I don't know what they had. We had an opportunity to call them and ask them that. You didn't. I don't know what kind of weapon they were carrying. They wrote there for you, described what they had. I don't know. It's not my business.
In fact, if one has regard to the exhibits, the statements, none of them said that they had rifles. They said they were allocated rifles, but as far as I remember, because I've given them to your worship, none of them say I had a rifle with me, so I don't think so.
So you said you don't know whether there were any other rifles except for the one that we've seen on this video footage.
Absolutely, I'm responsible for that.
I didn't hear?
I'm responsible for that one, yes.
From the time when you arrived there up to the time when you left, nobody else that you know of, or do you know of anybody that fired shots at this particular stadium apart from what we've seen here in this video?
I'm not the Holy Spirit. I won't know if there was shots fired before I arrived, shots fired a night before, shots fired after I left. I wouldn't know. But for as long as I'm concerned, this is the only act we carried out. Any other thing, I'm not responsible for it. I don't know.
So you confirmed you didn't see any of shots being fired, anybody firing shots in your presence on the night in question or during the day when you were there?
That includes me. I didn't see myself firing shots, so I didn't see anyone.
You're the only one that actually fired shots during that day until 2 o'clock when you left the stadium.
Those things of toys are called shots, you are right. I don't know how they get described.
I want to let you have a look again in this particular video. The shots that were fired there were 7 shots. Can you confirm that?
I don't know.
Do you want us to play it again?
Let's play it.
Did you count it?
I'm unable to count how many shots were fired there. It's a bit fast, but what fascinates me, Your Worship, is that a rifle is being fired and the people who were being shown running away no longer run away when a rifle is being fired. Because I will assume rifle would have a more powerful more intimidating sound than the 9mm pistol. So you don't see anything like that with a rifle, which has been suggested earlier on with the 9mm. But if you say 7, I take it from you. I can't argue it.
That was also counted, this exact same number was also counted by the expert that testified yesterday, Mr. De Klerk, that it was indeed 7 rounds of fire.
Absolutely. He must be an expert now, as you quote him, and be an expert throughout, even in your argument that he is an expert. Accept that.
Mr. Malema, I want you to look at that video. I want you to see that once you fired the shots, during the firing of the shots, the reaction after you firing the shots, and then you also describe to me what exactly you see when you look at accused number 2 and this person that you refer to as Larry Mavuntla, and describe it as how you see it.
Your Worship, am I allowed to go?
Yes.
And then where I want her to pause and explain, and I can ask her to do that.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Your Worship, that's Chauke from SAPS.
My
This black, yes, that one, that's Chauke from SAPS. Stop. Where's the white man? I go in there with that rifle. Who is behind me and where's the white man? So, in between the firing of this and handing it over, the activity is between me and Larry. Larry is this one with a jacket that has got a yellow thing at the back. That's Larry Mabunda, who I have an activity with off camera. And we both come into camera with Larry Mabunda immediately after me because he has handed it over and then followed me. The white man comes after. He just comes from the corner. It's not in the main act, it's coming from somewhere, I don't know. That's why I tell you, because I don't know what he was doing here. My activities with this guy.
I can't hear you because of the crowd. And then check, is there any medical reason why you are wearing sunglasses in court? If not, remove it please. Thank you.
So, accused number 2, Your Worship, just comes from the corner. I don't even know where he was. I had no activity with him at the beginning. Right at the beginning, it's me and Larry Mabunda. When I come into the camera, it's me, Larry Mabunda, after me. Because he handed it over to me off the camera. And then, when I went into a camera, it's tailing behind me. When I finish, the white man comes from nowhere there to come and join us there. And then what do? You can play. Then I hand it over to Larry Mabunda. Stop. Larry Mabunda's hand is here. It's in the street. Where is the other hand? What is it doing? So this is where Larry Mabunda lives with the facilities.
Are you saying you handed it to Larry?
Larry. He's the one who gave it to me. I shoot. I turn. When I turn, the white man comes to me. Then Larry is already there. He joins Larry.
You were not scared when you saw the white man coming?
No, I know him. I work with white people. I mean, look at my team here. So not this guy. And that was way 2008. So
Larry is right behind me. Me and Larry have an activities before. Me and Larry have an activities after. Then Adrian is there. Then Larry takes the thing, they both leave. Nowhere did I have any form of exchange or anything of that sort with accused number 2 on the stage, off the stage, outside the premises, anywhere where he facilitated the handing over of a gun, somehow, somewhat, to me.
You can go back, Mr. Malema. That firearm that you are, the rifle that you are referring to is quite heavy. It looks identical, almost like the one, the SPA 249, is that correct?
It's very heavy, they're toy. And if you doubt, ask your worship. It's very heavy.
So what you are saying that in this picture where we actually see Larry Mavundla's hand, that's the one thing that I wanted to ask you about. You only see the one hand which he having close to his mouth. The other one you are now saying basically is that your evidence that he had this particular blank firearm in his hand.
Larry Mavunda is no ordinary man. He's a highly trained police from Cat Assault Team, the second highest level in the police force. Larry Mavunda was regarded as #1 best shooter in South Africa. Guns are his things. It might be heavy to me, to your worship, to you, but not to a man who deals with these facilities. Actually, he can shoot it with one hand. You see, me, I'm carrying it with 2 hands. Larry can shoot that thing with one hand, real firearm. You can put an egg there and ask Larry to shoot it, he will shoot it.
The way I view, you are allowed to disagree with me, Mr. Malema. The way I view that video is that when accused number 2 came, he moved forward intercepting Larry Mavundla, and he was actually the one standing just slightly before you.
How can replay it? Let's replay it. Can I go back? Yeah?
Yes, please.
Immediately after shooting the stop. Larry is in front, the white man is behind the plate. Larry's okay. At no point, stop it, at no point is the white man in between me and Larry. It's Larry before him. Even when they leave, Larry, to show that he's the one who was in front of him when they were looking at me. He didn't have to, now, the white man who came, according to you, who came between me and Larry, didn't have to turn and push Larry away for him to be in front of us. When we turned facing that way, he was leading the way because he has always been at the back, and in between us is Larry Marvin. At no point will you show me where the white man is between me and Larry, and he who alleges must prove it. You can stop it.
Yes.
I've stopped my part.
The way I view it is that he came slightly in front of Larry when that firearm was handed over.
You know, your worship, I must really know which case am I dealing with. He came in front of Larry. When I give a response, he slightly came in front of Larry. It keeps on changing as it goes. Which case am I answering? I've answered that at no point, and you are the one who's alleging before this court. Ask her to play and stop the way I'm doing. Let us stop where the white man slightly comes in front of Larry. I've demonstrated it. I don't know how best can I do it. We off camera, we get into the camera. It's me in the front with the firearm. Larry comes, and Larry comes charging even much more closer. When I finish shooting, as I tell, the white man comes in. He comes closer to us, but Larry is there. Larry takes the firearm. Once the white man realizes that whatever was happening is done, he makes a U-turn, and Larry follows him, because Larry was ahead of him. When they turned, he was now leading the way. So, show your worship where you are saying at some point he came before us. You can't do it, even with your own video that you came with. And if this is your video, you should not even be making this court to struggle. You should be saying at 1 minute 36 seconds, stop there, because you prepared for this case. 1 minute 36 seconds, stop there. Then that's where you will see that the white man is between yourself and Larry. He can't demonstrate that before court. We must take it because he just says it. It's not happening.
The rifle that you are using there, is it able to discharge real ammunition and produce spent cartridges?
It doesn't discharge real ammunition. It doesn't take out spent cartridges as you say them. They are blinds. So those blinds you worship. When you shoot, that's why we can't shoot it inside here, because those blinds get out. The small ones also get out. But it's not the size of what has been presented before this court. So if you have someone like here standing and then you shoot from here, if this thing throws and hits an eye, it can injure it. But it's not a very big thing that you'll think if it gets out, it can cause a serious damage, but it's safer not to discharge it in a place like this.
We are in agreement that the real firearm that was tested, SPA 249, and the one that we're seeing on this video, which you claim to be a toy firearm, a blank firearm, looks identical. Is that correct?
I'm happy you're saying we're in agreement.
How would you have known that the firearm that Larry was handing over to you was indeed SPA 249 or this blank firearm that you are claiming that you've used?
We have spoken about it, and then I'm the one who placed it in his position that when the time comes, you'll hand it over to me. And I told you, he's got the highest form of training. I actually, I was wondering yesterday when your worship took the firearm from me, the accused. Ordinarily, it must go to a police officer and then go to your worship. So when it came from Larry, the officer, I knew that he won't swap it for anything real. That's how much trust I have in the South African police services.
See, it's common cause before this court that this SPA, the real firearm, was also booked out to Larry Mabundla on the day of the incident.
Charge him and ask him if it was booked to him. You should have charged him. Because, I mean, come on, prosecutor. If and Sira does that thing for a purpose. They say when you take out the firearm in the premises, the person who received that firearm must be identified and be recorded. You go to the premises where the firearm is found. They say the firearm was released to Larry Mabunda. And then this firearm goes and do wrong things, your worship. You don't go to the person responsible for the firearm. You go look for other people. What makes the state case even worse? The police say, when we were busy at the premises, the certain Larry Mabunda brought back this firearm that is before the court now, to confirm that indeed it was released in his care. While they are busy trying to collect the firearms, Larry Mabunda brings back that firearm, including a pistol, back to them. Still that person, whose record shows is the one who they released the firearm to, who the police came to give a testimony that we received this specific firearm from him. still that person is not charged and tell me of justice. Especially for accused number 2, who has nothing to do with this. No paper says this gun was under his care. The gun was never reported stolen. Everything is above board. If anything, my lord, Larry Mabunda cooperates with the police. He's still not an accused in this matter.
Mr. Malema, we could have been done by now with your cross-examination if you have just allowed us to. I'm going to get to that part where the police visits the premises of technical security where accused number 2 was present when they visited this.
Yes.
What happened with this firearm that's been used on this video after you fired shots?
What happened to it, meaning?
What happened to it?
Larry Mabunda took it away and went to put it wherever he put it. He can best explain that part. But when the case started, we went back to the SG of the organization to say, it looks like we've got an issue here. They reassured us that no, the thing is back in their care. And when we need it, as in when, they will hand it over to us. So it's an EFF property and did not get lost in between. It's still there. I came with it yesterday.
When the police visited the premises of technical security, the person that was present when SP-249 was presented to them and the 9mm Glock was accused number 2. You've heard that evidence, is that correct?
He might have been present, but the police officer brings Larry Mabunda's name. He says, while we're still there, Larry Mabunda came with a rifle and a pistol. Please, prosecutor, you are the one who's more educated than me on these matters. This part you should not have missed. The accused number 2 was there when the first round of firearms were taken. Firearm, he says, I'm told you are looking for this firearm. He gives them a firearm and a pistol. And then that's where we are. That's how this firearm ends up in this court. The real firearm. They were given by Larry Mabunda. So, your worship, a gun gets issued to me. Its cartridge is found somewhere that this gun was shot somewhere. No one comes to me to say, hey man, that gun that we issued to you was apparently used somewhere unlawfully. What is your account? That's the beginning of the case. You don't do that. You don't do that. If anything, you go look for a person who has got nothing to do with what happened. Yes, I'm right here because I'm in the video. I'm seen carrying something that can be confused for a gun. But this fellow has got no reason of being.
The bottom line of the question was actually when the police visited the premises of technical security services for the first time, they were only presented with these 2 firearms, the 9mm Glock and the SP-249, which they didn't want to take.
I give up. Is there in the judgment of 174, and the lawyers must come in now because this guy is misquoting what really transpired.
That's not the evidence. We're going to go back and forth. The evidence was that they came and they fetched the battery. As Janssen, I think it was about to leave, Larry Mabunda arrived. They were keeping arrived at these premises. They were only given these 2. That is not true. This gun that is before the court was looked at a long time after the other guns were, because it was in Mavunda's possession in Johannesburg. And that's the evidence of Janssen.
Joseph, it's even stronger than that. If one has record, I read the record yesterday, is Exhibit J. It appears to be the report of Colonel Janssen, and I think it's contained in there. How the letters were handed over, and one of them was just stated, not as the prosecutor stated.
I'll have to check the evidence then, but we got your notes or Exhibit J, or must I adjourn and check?
Yes, I don't think much will turn on this.
Before you ask the question, you should have checked his notes, because it's an incorrect statement that he put to the witness. That's wrong.
If it's an issue, then I'm going to check. I don't like things hanging, and then I'd rather check. So you were saying, repeat so that I also get you clearly, please, that you could see it.
SB A249, and the Glock was presented to the police to say these are the firearms that you were. I believe this is the firearms you were looking at for a technical support services.
By who? When you have discharged a firearm, none of that sort was checked on me. None. A person who, in whose, your worship, if Larry took that gun and gave it to me without following the law, Larry committed a crime. He must be held accountable. That you are negligent because you left the gun in the car and somehow Mr. Malema got hold of it and went to discharge it in public, or you gave Mr. Malema a firearm and he went to discharge it in public, or anything of that sort. It's not done. And you must tell me that's justice. Why are we starting at the end? Where is the beginning of this firearm? How does it end in the hands of Mr. Malema? How does it leave the premises of people who own this firearm?
If Larry did do that, as you now states, regardless of that fact, you should have checked before you fired that firearm if it was indeed a real firearm or a dummy or toy firearm.
I knew it was a toy. We were all together. If you have a problem of collegiality where you work, we don't have that problem. When a colleague is assigned an assignment and this is how he's going to execute it, you have no reason, none whatsoever, to doubt that which is being presented to you. He's not just a colleague, he's a disciplined member of the force who served at the second highest level, who knows what discipline means and knows the implications of doing what you are alleging he has done. And why would he even risk it and do it in front of the police?
Yusuf, I have no further questions for this witness.
Nda.
I see you're being recalled as secretary. Sorry?
I'm good to proceed.
You call?
Sorry,
Yeah, I see your client is doing that. I'm not sure if he's calling you or secretary.
he wants to speak to me.
Oh, can you say?
Can I just approach?
Secretary?
My client has very valid point already, but I don't think the witness before court is qualified to answer that because they pertain to a number of grounds and felicities.
Okay, but you can do that in your re-exam if you wish.
Sure.
During re-exam. No, you don't have re-examination. Sorry.
No, I don't.
You can't do it. You'll have to keep quiet then. Thank you. Maybe you'll get a chance later. Re-exam it, good on.
Mr. Malema, the allegations put to you, so I need to ask you a very straightforward question. Did you discharge any live rounds out of any kind of real weapon on the night of the 28th of July?
No.
No. You were shown a video, video 1. In video 1, do you see yourself shooting any firearm of any kind in that video? Do you follow?
No.
Now, on the night in question, did you have permission to have a fireworks display?
Yes.
Now, you watched the video 1, and you specifically pointed out the South African Police Services member that you recognized there, Mr. Chaki. You confirm that that's him, the person who made a statement to this honorable court.
Yeah, Chauke.
It's now an exhibit before this court.
And Mr. Kari.
Now, you've highlighted this, but I need to just touch on it. The prosecutor read 5 individual statements of police officers to you. Do you know of any reason why they were not called to testify on behalf of the state?
I don't know why, but when you read the statements of those police officers, they don't make a case for persecution. So when you want to persecute, you ignore the facts and proceed with the hope that he will find himself in the hands of a judge who doesn't look at the law, perhaps looks at the color, perhaps look at political views, perhaps look at the irritation of a person and ignore the law and just send him to Hampal. That was the intention, that let's take our chances to arrive at the political ends. You can't falter him politically, just find something to use against him. This, I repeat, Your Worship, it was a campaign by the AfriForum. We are where we are because the NPA, without any material evidence, succumbed to the pressure of the AfriForum.
Now you remember,
The judge you are referring to, is that me?
No, I'm saying a judge generally. The judge in the form of the judiciary. That as you are judge hopping.
Don't concentrate on my question, but on Advocate.
But the point was making, Your Worship, is that as you are judge hopping, your hope will bump into the one that doesn't look at the law and look at other things outside the law. All I'm saying is the NPA ought to have answered the question, what does the law say in this matter, and not look at who is the target of assault.
now in this instance, you will remember, because you were present throughout the trial, that those 5 statements were only elicited by me in cross-examination of the investigating officer.
Absolutely.
Right. You took issue with the contents of those statements were taken through them. None of them attribute any criminal liability to you. What is your comment in that regard?
Firstly, Your Worship will remember that when the South African Police Services members' statements were highlighted in this court by you, Your Worship was actually shocked. And that's why even in 174, the judgment says, I don't want to dwell much on this matter of SAPS, and I hope at some point the prosecution will speak much to it. I'm paraphrasing, I'm not quoting verbatim what Your Worship said. But why would people take an issue to go and collect statements in Pretoria and collect statements here in Eastern Cape of law enforcement officers and ignore them and not even bother to call them or bring those matters to the attention of your worship. Had you not pointed them out, this court would have made a ruling without taking into consideration that on the day in question, on the stage, there were members of the South African Police Services, VIP protection.
Now, I'm going back to the first video that you were shown, and you were shown 7 people against the boundary wall mark. The prosecutor calls it extreme right, but if you look at the screen, it was the extreme left, but be that as it may, you were shown those 7 people with the cursor, with the pointer on the screen. What were those 7 people doing when you focused on them?
I really don't know, but if you look at those people, they are at the far end of the pitch and with reflectors. Either they are cleaners or some sort of service providers. They are ordinarily not part of the activity that is taking place. That's why they are isolated. But I said to your worship, because this thing is in a camera format, you're thinking everybody's at one place, and the distance between those people in front of the stage and those ones that you are pointing at is too huge. If anything, your worship, where those people are, between that fence and the stage, that's where the VIP marquee was. So that tent was between the stage and that side. If you look at through the entrance of that stage, if you look at it there, there is a white tent at the end there. I don't know if I can go to the screen to show your worship.
Yeah. Mr. Malema, have a look at this. That's the photograph of. The camera comes from this.
This is the stage. I am here, and then there is a tower in between me and those people. There is a tower, then there is a screen, then there is a VIP marquee tent. Where the VIP marquee tent ends is the fence that divides the pitch with the grandstand. That's where those people are. Not anywhere in the close proximity to what we are doing.
If you were to estimate that distance, how far would you say it is?
You are starting with those things of 23 meters. I don't know, but it was too far. That marquee tent was too big. It was too far.
Between where you were standing and where those people are at the fence that we see there, can you give any indication of how many people were between you and those people? Tens, 20s, hundreds, thousands.
Which people? The ones that are in front of me?
Now you see where the stage is to the blue wall, where the cursor is now. How many people were there between you and those people at the blue wall?
There were no people.
In front of you?
In front of me, there are people. There are thousands of people there. Thousands of people in front of me.
Now, could you see anybody running when you watched the video?
No, not at all. Not in front of me, not on the stage.
And even when the video plays, do all of the people go out of the screen or not?
No, but equally, let's see, no one tends to pay attention to this scary thing. These are human beings. At the end there of the stage towards me, it's a comrade called Makaula. That lady who's there, she's, if I'm not wrong, you don't tell ladies' ages. She's almost 64 years old. She should ordinarily be scared by guns.
I'm going to get something more particular.
Yeah.
Had you watched this video for half an hour before court started, would you have been able to answer the questions without playing the video in court?
Which, were they not?
When you requested this morning to go watch the video in the room, with accused number 2, would you have been able to answer the questions without the video being played in court?
No.
Bishop, that is not what was said. You must go and watch the video in a room or whatever. I don't know why Melanie French is putting it like it was going to be a private thing. It's not accurate.
Worship, the record will reflect. I'm not even going to take it further. I want to delay matters, but I'm going to leave it at that. Do you know why those people moved in that direction, as was pointed out by the prosecutor?
I don't know. I really don't know. Why would 7 people of thousands just run away? You are splitting hairs. That's an act of desperation.
Having watched the video, can you detect any indication of fear in those people?
Nothing.
Do you know of any person that was on the stage having been approached to make a statement to the police? The Dalian Pofu,
No one.
or anybody else that's there with you, your comrades as you call them, tell you, I've been approached to make a statement to the police?
Not only Dalimbofi, I said to your worship, the guy who's leading the song is a prominent guy called Dr. Mbuiseni Ndlozi. He's a member of parliament, known for having woken up an ANC minister sleeping in parliament and called a sleepist. He's a well-known guy. Why didn't the police, with an identifiable body like that, who is a member of parliament, not approach him for a statement? Dalimbof is there, Mam Kaula is there, member of parliament, prominent member of parliament. Mam Refilwe Mashabela is there. The deputy president of the EFF is the one who's not jumping a lot at the back, because that's him, he's like that. Is there, Floyd Shibambu. Noticeable figures, public figures. The police can't say, or the prosecutor can't say, we didn't say go and collect statement from these people because they are not recognizable. We don't know who they are. We don't know where we can find them. West, senior counsel of the bar.
Now, did any of those people ever tell you that they're too afraid to make a statement concerning this incident?
Dalimbof went to prison for a very long time during apartheid. Tortured by the apartheid government. Yes, he's a tried and tested leader of our society. Who am I to terrify Dalimbof when he could not be terrified by apartheid? When he was being coerced and forced into training into a spy, he refused and stood firm on the principle of liberation of our people. If I intimidate people, why would I intimidate someone like that who survived prison and isolation?
You counted 20 odd shots, the expert counted between 14 and 15 shots. There was a further allegation of another 7 shots. Are you aware of any damage to any property or person arising from this incident, from all those?
None whatsoever. And I will not give an accurate number of how many shots and all of that, because really I'm trying to follow and I can't follow with how many shots were shot and all of that. It's none of my business. But how we explain guns also, the gunshots, where we come from, you'll be very scared. When you say, hey, how many rounds were shot? We're like, boop, 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 boop. Almost 30 foot. But the reality is that that gun might not carry that number, because our heart skips a lot when we hear gunshots. So why should I be asked to be accurate on things I know nothing about? I'm a layman when it comes to guns. I'm no expert. And the expert spoke, and I accept what the expert said.
I thank you so much for the question.
Question 5 for Mr. Malema.
Thank you.
While we are on the screen, it's just that it's been paused in my vision. So the person standing right at the entrance at the back, is it the uniformed police officer, or who is the person that I'm seeing the eye?
Your Worship, can I go closer?
Yes. The last person.
This one. Yes. I can't see properly, Your Worship.
I'm not sure if what I'm trying to say is it a guard or a body?
No, we didn't have guards in uniform. So the only people in uniform at the stage and at this occasion were police.
Does it appear to you as well as if it's a police officer?
I will request that we play it maybe when it rolls.
I don't know. Okay, we can play. Okay. Oh no, okay, no, I can see now. It's the paused image is a different, yes, okay. We can start.
It's not a police officer.
Yeah, no, it's clear when we play. That's fine. As you said yourself, you can answer as you wish, but I'll ask you to focus on the actual question. Okay. If you are saying to the court, no one turns around or runs from this scary thing that is happening, doesn't it actually defeat the purpose of the whole act and performance that you put so much detailed planning in?
These ones on the stage would ordinarily have been part of it. They know what is to follow.
We're speaking about the people on the floor, in front of the stadium.
No, but if you look at them, they're actually celebrating. They are cheering. We can replay it. The crowd in front of the stage is cheering, is jumping. For the act.
Is that what you're saying?
That is what is happening, Your Worship.
Okay, so you're saying no one is running away because they are scared, they are actually joyful of what they are seeing and hearing.
Absolutely. I'm not talking about the ones that he referred to. I'm talking about these ones right in front of me on the ground.
Yes.
They are actually cheering. And if Your Worship allows, we can replay it.
No, I accept that. The issue is that it's never been said as to why we're just talking about no one is running away scared.
Oh yes, I understand.
So now I'm asking, what would the purpose of the act be then if it appears no one saw or witnessed it?
No, they're cheering, yes.
The other, when we don't have to play the 3 different videos, the song being sang during the first video, the second video, and the third video, it appears to be the same song, or am I wrong?
Yes.
The same song.
I am not quite sure now.
I know the first one, I can't remember, it's Paso, whatever.
I can't remember, but...
that was the first song.
So what happened, Yoshi?
And Macarena.
When you hear a person like he's doing, say, Dio, Dio, Dio Mama, Dio, is about to change song.
Oh, okay.
So he sings the first song, and then when he prepares us for a different song, in between enters this Dio, Dio, Dio Mama, Dio, then brings in the song.
Okay, so the first song is indeed that. Wait,
I will ask Your Worship that we play a little bit of everything, and then I will be able to tell as to which is what. I don't
want to waste unnecessary time, but we can include it. I think I wrote the first. Oh, it says the first song. I may pronounce it incorrect, but I tried to write it is Unzima Pasopa Uya. What you all just did now?
Let's play it.
And then it turns in Zima Macarena.
There's no Macarena.
That's why I didn't know why you were singing Macarena.
There's no Macarena.
I didn't understand why you would sing Macarena.
None of the songs sings Macarena. Let's start with the first one. Yes. So when he does this, he's preparing a song.
What is a Macarena?
Macarena. Guerrillas. Gio, Gio. Gio Mama, Gio. Gio, Gio. Gio Magarela.
Oh, Magarela.
Yeah, guerrillas.
Macarena. Good body. Okay, so we can start playing.
This one, so this is a song.
First video.
Yeah, now.
Now can we listen to the song of the second video?
Second one. Yes, singing about KGB. Yeah, it sings about the KGB of the Soviet Union.
Okay, so
It's a different song, yes.
And this is the video where we see the, resemble rifle being fired.
Yes. Look at.
Yes, Mama Makaula.
Yeah, but no. When the shooting happens, you must pause it. Look at this. Look at the hands.
Yes.
They are cheering.
Yes. Then we can stop there. Now, it comes back to the same first question. Is your argument before court was, look at the ladies on stage, they are still dancing. They are not scared, and they are not used to firearms. And no one is falling down. But if I get your evidence correctly, it was planned to the detail. So they should have been aware that was going to happen.
They are aware.
At which stage? At what stage it will happen. They were aware.
They are aware.
So that's why no one is getting fired.
They are aware that there's now an act which is going to happen, because if you look at the longer video you're watching, I'm singing with them.
Yes.
Then when that part comes, I move away from them. So they will ordinarily know, especially the ones on the stage, that we are about to engage in an act.
Yes, so that in the fact that they are not afraid or not familiar with it, because they knew what was
They knew, they are the leadership, they knew on the stage. But the ones who didn't know is the masses in front of the stage.
Okay. Now, was there a time arranged with
I wouldn't have that detail, but when the time comes, I get told we need to move to the other side to do what we agreed on. So in our organization, there is what we call the Secretary General, who is responsible for step-by-step of what happens. So they know by this time we move in this way, this time we move in this way. Even just leaving a stage, you get told you must now go off the stage, and this is the direction we're going.
So they decide they don't need your approval as to when you will perform the main act?
They need my opinion, but they would have designed step by step. And I said to the court, a night before we go to inspect the stage, we inspect the sound system, we inspect the venue. So that's where it now gets explained that when you come in, you're going to drop off here. When you drop off here, you're going to find officials lining up like this. Then you're going to move from this area all around the stage until you arrive at the stage. When I arrive at the stage, if we're to play that video and we have time, you must look at the Secretary General of the EFF. In all the events, when I arrive at the stage, he points a chair at which I must sit. Just a chair, you are here. That's what happens. So it's simple like this. The organization works like this. So the Secretary General organizes everything. The Treasurer General pays for everything. The President speaks about everything.
Okay. Just see if there was anything else that I wanted to clarify. Oh, maybe you can shed some light on my confusion here.
Yeah.
Because in the same breath, we are speaking about Larry having been signed out the SBA 249, and in the same breath you are speaking about the second highest ranking SAPS official?
No.
Where in fact now is he employed? With tactical services?
Yes. He works for tactical, but he comes from SAPS.
Is that why you...
So I'm talking about his qualifications. That he's not just an employee of SAPS. He comes, of tactical, He comes from SAPS.
Okay.
And he retired at SAPS at the counter-assault team, which is the second highest unit in SAPS. After that unit is the task force.
Okay, I hear it. When
Yes.
it was explained, it sounded, I couldn't establish if he was now still at SAPS or with technical.
No.
All right, now I've get your explanation. It may be good. The issue was raised by Advocate Caesar. Whether it was done clear enough or not, and then I'm done with this question. You explained there's no need to disclose or get permission from JOC for the blank file. But if I read between the lines of these questions, actually, if they were aware that the act would be performed and with what it was shown to them, we would not find ourselves here today.
There's no such a requirement.
No, I fully agree there's no such a requirement at all. Do you agree it's logical that if they had known and this video went viral, they would have been aware to say it was disclosed to us?
I agree, but we committed no error by not telling them because it's not a requirement.
Yes.
But equally, that had it become apparent to them, they had a duty to consult with us and say, guys, there is this thing that they said happened at the stadium where we were operating together. JOG means Joint Operation Center. And we would have provided that clarity, Your Worship, to them. This is the man who was chairing our JOG. The last time we saw him is when we said goodbye, good work, thank you very much, bye. The second time we see him, it's here now. But we were working with you. If there was an issue, why didn't you call us? So why is the onus only being put on us, Your Worship, that had you told them, you won't be here? Had they asked, would have provided them clarity. Perhaps he would have even refused to open a case because he was told to open a case. And perhaps would have even provided this toy to him as a demonstration that there's nothing to worry about.
You shouldn't refer to the word onus. There is no such. It was a question which we could agree on or disagree on. Only. So, there's nothing that I am going to ask any further.
Thank you.
Any questions based on the court's questions, Advocate Audits?
The last question, but I've got no questions.
Advocate
I have no
Audits?
question.
Advocate Caesar?
No questions, Your Worship. Thank you.
We have finalized your evidence, you may stand up.
Thank you.
Worship, that brings us to the end of the evidence on behalf of accused number 1. I formally close the case.
Is everyone going to be ready to address on matters today?
We are reviewed.
Yes,
I'm not ready.
thank you for your
I was
honesty.
prepared to summarize the argument, comprehensive level of argument, and a number of issues which are important, as well as a number of legal issues which we have raised in our end of argument. I think he's putting.
No, yes, if it was an oral argument, I'd be ready, but insofar as there's a need for written as well, it's been a long trial, and I'll submit written, it's all more appropriate and it will take some time to prepare.
It's up to you, but I don't require it's.
The state goes first, legal residence.
Yes.
I'll second the idea of Mr. Matthews that we rather draft heads, Your Worship. But can you should just put a date when we must submit that heads by a specific date.
I don't think you give a date by what doesn't even have to reach me before the time, as long as it reaches all of you, so you can reply on whoever addresses it. But you can be post the matter then, because we will have to set a date now for address. As I said on the last appearance when we arranged dates, I'm not going to do so in full view of the public. I don't think it's anyone needs to know whether state, the defense, or the defense, or myself will be on any particular day or busy with what. So for that purpose only, I will do it in chambers, but we'll give you various options so that those options can be discussed with your clients and see if it suits everybody.
Yes, Russell, please. I'll approve of it. Thank you.
Do we do it at 2 o'clock or do we do it now?
We can do it now, Your Worship. I think they want to also leave and go back.
Oh, no, then we can do it at 2 o'clock. I don't have a problem.
We can do it now.
No, that's what I'm saying. We can do it at 2 o'clock. Just give me 2 minutes for a water break, then we can follow. I think that warrant officers Proctor or Van Dijk will just show you around, since they've enclosed the space here, and swipe you in. I don't think they really need a swipe card. Thank you.
All right.